So today I'm sharing about basically shifting and changing. So my legal, official English, secular, solar birthday was yesterday, February 24th. I'm now 33 years old, 3-3, and I noticed this is going to be a theme. So about adapting. So time has changed, and this is from Alexander Poltorak on the website Quantum Torah. Space is a lack of change. Mass is a resistance to change. I think I might have once shared this with you. Anything that transcends time, above or before time, relates equally to every moment in time. If I didn't share this with you, then this is new. So let's say I have a circle over here, and this is time. The circle relates here, here, and here, right? So let's say we have a line. There's a circle, there's a dot above the line. The dot can make a line to anywhere on the line and connect with it. Any point on the line in linear time. So it transcends time. But something in time has to go on the line of time. So creation from nothing is the first something, right? So it's the first change from nothing to something, the change that precedes time. Nothing means also no matter, space, or time itself, which is creation. So creation energy itself, which therefore is termed eternal from a time-bound vantage point. The event of the first primordial change is continuous and happening in every how do we say it? Like, stability is an illusion. Even the smooth flow of time is a kind of like an illusion, because time is based on the oscillation of to and fro. So basically, the first primordial change is constantly happening continuously in every moment. As Ezekiel described in his prophetic vision of the chariot, that the work that he did, it's called Merkava. It's running and returning. Ratzo v'shov. All is in flux. The heartbeat, the breathing, the cellular vibrations, atoms jittering in their crystalline structures, heartbeat, I said heartbeat, sorry, the pulse, electrons orbiting subatomic particles. This is a quantum field. So existence is change, and change is the common denominator with all this that is never staying the same. Then I want to share from Lauren Walker on the Shift Network. She said, trauma is taking in foreign energy through boundaries too permeable. There's a breach that causes stress, which can be subtle, even undetectable, or grow and cause large and lasting effects. When it pushes us over the edge to dysfunction in our ability to continue with life, we can then reclaim, repair, and reprogram the boundaries that caused for the original breach. Mouth breathing activates upper lungs, which is often fight or flight. They're innervated by that part. So one thing to practice is breathing in deeply into the lungs. So let's try that. I want you to imagine you're climbing upstairs and you start to go, so start to innervate. And this is how we can get to be in charge. But before that, I want to share about realizations. So I wanted to when I'm taking some deep breaths, I could start to say, what am I realizing about myself, about life? So just to be in the spirit of spiritual growth, where, we're always changing, we're always growing. That's what it is to be spiritually growing, strength to strength. I realized I'm invested in maturity, always relating to the central point, evolving, space, developing, growing, expanding, and refining. I'm very warm and enthusiastic, bringing people to joy and love and laughter and connection. As much as I matter to myself is how I can, how much I can. I don't care if I matter to someone else, and how much anyone can matter to me. For example, as much as I honor me, as much as I can honor someone else, or Shabbos even. Shabbos as an experience, time, glory. And while I can be hypocritical, and no, I don't want to be that way. So I'm, if I'm not very tolerant in others, it's a blaming, it's a scapegoating energy that's stuck in the details and judging, like could have been what happened to me. So I'm gonna talk about being in charge, talking about realizing like, where am I not in charge, right? Where am I in charge? It is to be in the charge, in the flow of charge, in the charge itself, like in the power flow, the surge, the high strength, the higher strength, the bigger, giant, dominant inflow, the current. This is about giving myself permission and not taking on more responsibilities, allowing the weight, being a love giant, even when I'm called, dirty body, nasty. These are things I've been called: nasty bitch, lazy and fat, lonely, parasite, annoying, non-believer, dog, liar, doubter, and wicked, and even being publicly humiliated and rejected because of being a witness or a seer. It's also about living with unmet desires, living with unfulfilled yearnings instead of jumping to denial or suppression. In other words, living with the not yet satisfied rather than, I don't want it anyway, or, just I'm not going to want it anymore. In other words, learning to rest. It's an integral part of trusting my hard work I've done, trusting my body and its limits, that it communicates with me for the sake of growth. The limits are temporary. Being a triangle more than having just 2 points of gravity, or a shape even with more points, a square, a hexagon. Why? Because there's tightness from each corner, keeps the middle loose, and the edges, the structure's tight enough so that it can't collapse in. An atom, for example, is like an 8-pointed triangle. What else? Waiting be a redirection to see what does flow, rather than being stuck in a waiting, being redirected, like constantly being still present, not like, I'm going to check out till I'm done waiting. Reach a compilation of various sequences of events and points on spectrums of extremes. So the measurements of traits, the scales of reference, we don't have to force the pieces to fit together that are available into a recognizable shape. We have to be in life without needing to enhance and improve, even letting people react and preparing for it, trusting the hard work needs a wick to cleave to, something to resist it, something that won't be immediately consumed and voided, like the candle, a wick, a thin wick will take more time to burn. So we don't have to we can let our work, have something to be burned through, like that brings light in the world, like a candle. Time is a gift of processes and change. So not everything happens all at once, and success needs some sort of surrender and structure. So I heard that from Jennifer Partridge, actually. I'll end this part with that and continue on by saying, when we live in a mystery in the questions, we can stay honest. It's a dignity just to be honest with ourselves, and also to give people the right to say no, and giving our own self a landing pad, using the scales of reference and measurements that I rely on that are valid because I've taken the time to trust them, so I can lean on them as tools I can reach for automatically as needed in various situations that come up, whether tasks or problems. A lot of this is about harvesting a personal supply from the energy that I generate, like that fuel. Money is based on that, right? Like the work that we want to earn, get paid. Not letting people's opinions and values dictate whether I consider something a waste of time or a waste of energy, and in turn, whether I consider myself a waste of time and energy. Prioritizing peace for a long-term sake of future Shana. A lot of that is about knowing that committing to something new is always challenging for me because it's a risk. I don't have to leap head first. I can explore at my own pace, new things in whichever ways suits the circumstances appropriately, and understand a little each day goes a long way, more than 1 time a week in a big piece. Momentum requires many small pushes that keep it moving. And I will stop there and wish you a beautiful evening, a beautiful week. May my birthday and my vibration in the world, in whatever ways I'm a leader, in whatever ways I am a co-collaborator and a provider, a receiver, may it all be where my service is accepted by God, and that I have trust, and that I'm able to really manifest these things that I'm talking about, even though I wrote it a few years ago, still growing and improving and becoming lighter and more true and with real happiness. Bye-bye.